Bobcat size comparison. How big are bobcats? Bobcat versus human size comparison. Despite being a top predator, a bobcat probably wouldn't seem too intimidating if you were to stumble across one in the woods. After all, they probably wouldn't be any taller than your knee, and that's at their maximum height. However, it can be difficult to determine just how big a bobcat is when you're looking at their size from nose to tail. To create a better bobcat size comparison to a human, imagine lifting one onto their hind legs. Then they'd only be as tall as a 2-year-old. Bobcats also weighs around the same as the average human 2-year-old. Bobcat size comparison to a wolf. When it comes to a bobcat size comparison to a wolf, we won't be seeing these two top predators see eye to eye anytime soon. The largest wolf is the Mackenzie Valley wolf, which can grow up to 34 inches from ground to shoulder and have been known to weigh up to 175 pounds. This means that it would take several of the heaviest bobcats to weigh the same as one full-grown Mackenzie Valley wolf. And, since adult bobcats usually only grow to a maximum shoulder height of 24 inches, bobcats are about 2 iPhones shorter than the wolf. However, one of the smallest wolf species is the Arabian wolf. These wolves, which are easily mistaken for a coyote due to their petite size, only grow to a maximum shoulder height of 26 inches and won't get much heavier than 45 pounds. As a result, while they're still bigger than the bobcat, they're much more evenly matched. Bobcat size comparison to a dog. With so many breeds of dogs available, it can be hard to see just how big a bobcat is compared to them. To make it easier to get a grasp of a bobcat's size, we'll compare them to the largest dog breed, the Great Dane, and the smallest breed, the Chihuahua. While some of the largest Great Danes ever have been several feet tall, the average male only grows to a shoulder height of about 34 inches, just a little less than 3 feet. However, they can weigh up to an upper average of 200 pounds, with many of these giant dogs being recorded weighing even more. As a result, bobcats may appear more like a chew toy than an apex predator to these gentle giants. Great Danes aren't too far off from humans, especially younger kids. As a result, it's expected that a bobcat would probably come up to around the Great Dane's chest, unless we're dealing with a record-breaking Dane-like titan. However, the tables might turn when it comes to the Chihuahua. Chihuahuas tend to only grow to about 10 inches tall, and you don't need to worry about these lapdogs getting much heavier than about 6 pounds. This means that a Chihuahua will look to a bobcat much like a bobcat will look to a Great Dane. In fact, it would take about 3 Chihuahuas stacked on top of each other to reach the same height of a bobcat. And when it comes to balancing the scale, you'll need around 8 heavy Chihuahuas to reach the same weight as some of the smallest bobcats. Bobcat size comparison to a fox. While canines seem to have a tendency to outdo bobcats in terms of size, the narrative changes with foxes. This is especially since bobcats are a fox predator. North America is home to a diversity of foxes, though the most common is the average red fox. These are the ones you may be most familiar with as well, with their iconic fluffy red and white tails. With a shoulder height of 20 inches, foxes tend to come to around a human's midcalf. This makes them a few inches smaller than the bobcat, around a credit card shorter to be exact. However, despite their height differences, foxes and bobcats are seemingly close matched when it comes to weight. After all, the red fox weighs an average of around 30 pounds, the same as bobcats. The smallest fox species, though, is the Fennec Fox. These concise canines only grow to around 8 inches tall and weigh about 4 pounds. This makes them the perfect snack for a bobcat, who is nearly 8 times heavier and 4 times taller. Not sure just how big the bobcat is compared to the Fennec Fox? Think of a bottle of ketchup versus 2 bowling balls.